You guys gonna come across in a minute?
Nothing was perfect. There's a great essay by the author George Orwell. It's called The Moon Underwater, I believe it is, and it's about his favorite pub. It has a checklist of 10 things that make the perfect pub, and he tells you about the Moon Underwater, his favorite place to drink, where there's a garden in the back, and there's always good food, and there's draft stout, and there's no radio, and it's just the most wonderful space to spend time. But it doesn't exist. He's only ever found a bar that really has like 8 of those things, and that was true for us. We're gonna blow it up. Thank you, Sundance, for your bravery in supporting what we do. What we do is a dynamic and ever-evolving situation in which we are in search of the truth and being able to convey the sincerity of our shared human experience. In the making of this, it is perhaps not journalistically, didactically, it's a construction. You know, this is truly a space that we created, a paradigm that we created, in which all of the characters are real people playing themselves, being themselves and responding to not only the moment that they were existing in as Americans, as a culture, but to each other and people who seek these spaces. And so yes, the bar was closing. In the movie, in the world of this movie. And these people are sincerely responding to that situation. But this is a bar that we created. We created a scenario that was a safe space for this to happen, with people who understand that, you know, the vernacular of said spaces, and created a dynamic situation that they could respond to and in which they could interact and hopefully elicit some truths from each other in a moment in time which seemed very confusing to all of us. And so, you know, without talking about politics or anything, you know, that might, you know, be substantive, we said, let's talk about humanistic things with each other. Let's set up an experiment and just see if it works. And it really was an experiment. We didn't know if it was going to work. There were no words on a page, but there was, you know, the armature of an idea within which these wonderful people and, you know, 18 others chose to participate and give of themselves and whatever they were thinking at the moment. But I mean, for the most part, with you know, exceptions and variants, these are not actors acting as themselves within a prescribed scenario. And so, yeah, again, we're getting at an authenticity, a truth that may not be the didactic truth, but maybe is some sort of dynamic truth. For the point, for Bill and I, this is the way that we are making our movies. So for us, you know, and I think there is an interesting conversation to be had about documentary and its greater implications and the way that these things are made and what is truth and what is authenticity. But that's not the conversation that we're trying to lead. For us, we're making movies, and this is the way in which we are trying to get to that. So to throw a card on front would be predicated by saying this is or isn't a documentary. That's not our point. Our point is this is a story that we wanted to tell in the best way possible to convey an emotion, a feeling, a sense of being there, and some truth about not only these individual characters, but our collective experience. Putting a card at the beginning just seems to be saying that we're engaging in that conversation. And for me, that's the least important thing about what we're doing. You guys